Well, I didn't draw anything. The fan? The fan? What did you say? What'd you say? With an E. With an E. Yo, that backwards Deshaun. The word like with an E. W-E-R-D. Yo, this fucking backwards pass is hilarious. Not fa- Yo, you know what's crazy, bro? You look like this fucking dude. Yo, that shit is crazy how much you look like him with those shits on, yo. That
What
shit
dude?
is funny. Some dude named Bodie, some rapper nigga that I saw face to face, and I was like, why?
Some dude.
Why
Let
are
me
you
guess.
something?
Let me guess. He's one of the few Puerto Ricans, or because why would he?
Yeah,
Is
he's a Puerto Rican. He's a Puerto Rican like rapper, I guess.
That's the first. That's the first giveaway.
What, the Bodie? His name's like Bodie. His actual rap name is like Bodie Rap or Bodie something.
And that's the oldest. The oldest Puerto Rican nickname is Bodie.
Yeah. Terrible. But yeah, you look just like, I'm gonna send you a picture. I don't know what the fuck is that mean. Bodie something. Bodie rock.
and welcome aboard. We are live on a Thursday. Thursday night football, Lions Packers. But before that, we're gonna do a quick recap of last week's games. We have Word Life back after viewing the Giants last Thursday. We have
Live in
Flex
San Fran.
after being in the building for Jets Patriots on the field, on the sidelines, in that same bucket hat. Well done.
Well done.
How we feeling,
Damn.
gentlemen?
That hurts.
Depends what feeling are we talking about?
Well, let's start with how we're feeling after a week, an extended rest and a week off for the Giants after a I don't know what adjective to use to describe the performance against the 49ers on Thursday night, but after a game that they played, they did play a game.
Yep, they did play a game.
Undoubtedly, they did play a game. So how are we feeling? First off, a week later after that Giants game.
I'm gonna just tell you what I felt that day. Like, I left. I mean, we knew we wasn't gonna win, right? Like, we were hoping, but it was. I mean, but I like the way Daniel played, man. I like the way Daniel moved in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest take I took. Because I'm really watching Daniel. Like, I'm really trying to watch what's going on with the kid. Like, you know, prime time, all these numbers, 11 or 1 and 11 in prime time and all that shit. So I'm like trying to see where he's shaking up at, where, you know what I mean? But I like the way the kid played, man, as far as moving and not crossing the line of scrimmage, not just running the run. Like, he ran to get space and throw the ball downfield. Like, his attempts was official. Like, I didn't see him shake. I didn't see him break like everybody was expecting. Like, what most people expected him to break and throw the ball to the ground and horrible plays. And, you know, like, a few of those picks were in the receiver's hands. They got tipped in the air. You know what I'm saying? I think it was 2, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3. I think it was 2, right?
No, I don't think it was 3.
It was 2.
It wasn't 3.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was really watching that. But our defense sucks, man. Our defense sucks, man. We can't apply pressure. We can't apply pressure. We can't get to a quarterback. We can't get to Purdy. Purdy gave us gifts. Purdy gave us 3 picks. We should have had 3 fucking picks.
So where are you on speaking of the pass rush or lack thereof, where are you with first round pick Kayvon Thibodeau?
I'm telling you.
It's there. I'm waiting for him to show up. He's not showing up. Right now, I'm like, you got to question him. What is he capable of? Because he's not showing up. So, and he got the inside guys. It's not like, you know, it's just him and you know, everybody focusing on him. You got guys in the middle. You got Dexter. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not thrilled with him, but there's still I'm not done with him. You know what I mean? It's still too early for me to be completely done with him. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think he would have a longer leash if he just wasn't such a douchebag, man. Like, he doesn't like he doesn't gain, like, he doesn't, like, it feels like he doesn't want to gain the benefit of the doubt. Like, he's just like, he just says what he says, like, mad arrogantly. You know what I'm saying? Like, He doesn't really, like, if he would be, like, you know, like, more humble and be like, yeah, you know, and say we got to do better and all that stuff, and stop talking all this other trash, and the way that he acts on the field, the way that he acts on the sideline, I feel like people would be more, like, receptive to be like, yeah, you know, he's still feeling it out and all like that. But, like, when you act like that and then you don't perform, like, it's not looking good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you send it to the chat. Somebody sent it to the chat. That's the only reason why I saw his remarks about, like, blaming the crowd or some shit or whatever the fuck he was doing. Or yeah, I gotta look into it more off the field. I usually do, but I've been so fucking crazy, busy that I haven't been able to really, like.
Yeah, the off the field's always been there. Like,
yeah, that was a question coming
before
into
the draft. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that. I definitely remember that. But yeah, man. Cool. A lot of questions. This is a big game for us, bro. Seattle's gonna be a real game for us. It's gonna tell a lot about us, man. We lost to them last year. You know what I'm saying? Similar squads. So, similar squads, yeah. So, big test
What's
Monday
the
night.
what's the status for Barkley for that game? Do we know yet?
I don't want him to play, but they say he might be capable. He might be able to play. So,
Was he officially questionable?
yeah, I
I'm
think
sure.
so.
I'm sure he is. I
I
mean,
think so. Yeah,
I mean, he said it was a high ankle sprain, so it's
yeah.
like
That's what they're reporting it right now. High ankle sprain. But I think he is questioning.
All right. So how were you feeling about your picks last week? You gave us your picks. You gave us your picks in advance.
Via text.
You had the Commanders. You had the Colts and the Steelers both came through for you. Commanders fell short. So solid 5-point week.
I reached for the Commanders. That was stupid, but I don't know.
I've been trying to tell both of y'all to stay off them damn Commanders.
Yeah. You're right. You're
I
right.
learned my lesson week 1.
Uh-oh. Yeah. But now I feel good about those picks.
2-1. I mean, you
So-
just barely got that Dolphins pick. I mean, you got real lucky on that one. You could have laid 49.5 and still been all right. Yeah,
Crazy.
but Dolphins was obviously the strongest pick of the week, and you had
More
the
than the
Lions.
Colts?
The Lions handled the Falcons. Say again. What about the Colts?
I said that was a bigger a bigger hit than the Colts win.
I mean,
Come
we're
on.
just
You're
we're
gonna
just
jump
talking
for
about
the Colts. Do you see my hat? That was the biggest win of the week. I mean, in terms of like the upset win, you're not gonna get the Colts
and then
over
I had
the Cardinals.
and then I had the biggest win in terms of like
Points.
demolish.
Well, that's what I originally meant when I said the biggest
Oh,
win.
okay. Yeah,
I know what I'm
Just
saying, but
dominating
you-
the spread.
Yeah,
Facts.
it was a clever pick though, the Colts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's why I made it.
mhm.
Did you also make the Colts?
Yeah, I once you gave your picks,
Took mine.
there was
I said once I gave my pick, you took mine.
No, I was insistent on taking my Cardinals last week, and no one else has the stones to take the Cardinals the way I do. So I wasn't gonna take all of your picks because that was gonna be all mine to myself. But I wanted to take the Colts and I wanted to take the Bengals, but I didn't want to give 3.5. They were 2.5, and then they moved to 3.5 right before we made the picks. So then I was trying to scramble to replace the picks. So I kept the Colts and I switched out the Bengals, and luckily I did because
Yeah, what was it? They only won by what?
they won by 3. I wanted no part of that hook.
Yeah.
So as it stands, we are all tied in terms of our overall record, all 4-5.
Nice.
Point allocation has not served Flex well, unfortunately. Still waiting to hit on a 3-pointer, but it's coming. It's coming. I can feel it. I'm still waiting to miss on a 3-pointer. Hopefully that's not coming this week. But so the box is still in the driver's seat. Box has 12 points. I have 12 points. Word Life has 9 points, and Flex has 6 points as it currently stands.
You're right there.
So-
You're right there.
Any other games this week? This most recent past weekend, obviously we had the domination of the Dolphins. I don't really know what there is to say about that game other than it's just a total annihilation.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce? I think that's the big story we need to get into.
Enough already.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that shit is everywhere.
You haven't seen it? How's that possible? Lucky you.
How
I'm
can you
jealous.
hear that? How can you hear that shit is everywhere, but not see it?
What did I see? Oh, there was like a TikTok of a girl saying, like bothering her husband that just walked through the door. Oh, have you heard about Taylor Swift? And he got like so mad. He got like annoyed of it or whatever. And then I think DNR made a reference of how everyone's talking about it
Yeah, nah, it was
while
crazy.
talking about it.
while talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, like I said to y'all in the chat, I was watching the game and I felt like they were
You did
like
say that shit. Yeah, you're right.
like they needed to fulfill a quota or something because like Greg
Like
Olson
the Super
said
Bowl.
Taylor Swift is here like 2 times in the same sentence. I was like,
It's like, do they feel that they have to get like the Swift fans?
I'm telling you, I think that there was an edict
maybe.
from the broadcasters, like, yo, make sure y'all every time we're always getting new viewers. There's always new people tuning in, so make sure every couple of minutes you let everybody know that if they just tuned in, make sure everybody knows that Taylor Swift is here. So it just felt like they were mentioning it after like every commercial break. It was crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so it's like enough already. Like for those who care, we're gonna see her because they keep showing her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, you know who's gonna see her? You know who's gonna see her next? She'll be in the house. She will be in the house in MetLife Stadium for Sunday Night Football when the
Exactly.
Jets and Zach attacks the Chiefs. I couldn't hear that, but
You gotta put that. You gotta put the sound in that when you edit it.
so I mean, with that being said, I don't have much to say about about the Jets, but
the disgust.
I have something to say. Yo, was I the only one watching Mike Wright throw fucking bombs? And like, ouch, that shit fucking sucks.
He threw a bomb.
were you the only one, or was
it
I
was
the
a-
only
it-
one that's been saying this since last year?
Yo, but that's
When you were trying to tell me how garbage Mike White is and how you can't bench Zach, you gotta give the kid a chance. I heard a whole lot of that. Where is that now?
Hey, it's in Miami. It's here with me in Florida.
Yeah. So like I said, I told you I'm not watching these. I can't watch this anymore. I'm not. I won't. I didn't watch the game. I won't watch the game, and I won't watch Sunday night either.
I'll watch something.
I can't do it.
You're gonna watch Sunday night because
Okay.
you're gonna want to see Swifty. You're
Swifty
gonna
New
get
York?
Swifty with it.
None of the above. I'm good. I won't watch that game. I won't watch that
You're gonna
game.
get Swifty.
I'm good. I'm all set. Yeah, it's just Flex. Any thoughts?
If they win, what
observations?
happens?
There's
the
nothing.
Jets
There's nothing
win,
to
what
observe. There's nothing to observe. It's like if we're gonna have to watch slop, make it exciting slop.
And
Let
bring
him-
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like I said, see, you're finally
No,
coming
no.
around.
Simeon. They got
coming around.
Simeon.
No.
They got Simeon.
To
now.
let him, if you're not gonna let him play, then what's the point in letting him play? You know what I'm saying? Like let him rip it.
Oh, so
You
you're
know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
you're
Like-
in the they're holding Zach back camp.
No, not holding him back, but it's like if he's not good, right? So if he's not good and then he's not throwing the ball and it's not letting you run the ball, which like you made an emphasis, like your team is built to have an emphasis on the run. If you're putting the handcuffs on Zach to the extent where you can't even run the ball because there's no threat of him throwing the ball, I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point. Like, if he throws 5 interceptions, then he has to come out the game. That's it. Like, let him do that. But like to he's not any better playing conservative. If he was better playing conservative, like as opposed to like him airing it out and like like maybe throwing 2 interceptions and maybe you get a touchdown or something, then fine. And you're going to play the game close to the vest, which I could understand this game plan, like against the Patriots being like that because of the way, it was going to be an ugly game regardless. It was going to be an ugly game regardless, but like you can't do the thing where it's like, we're not going to let him throw. So, and they know that you're not going to do that, and we're not going to run it. We're not going to be able to run it either. Like, what's the point? What are we doing? Like, this is ridiculous.
Let him throw downfield a little bit. But how much of
But
it is
what
him
if,
not
what
wanting
if
to
it's
throw?
not that they're not letting him throw downfield? What if it's just that he's not throwing downfield? I mean, it's not like Nate Hackett is running out and tackling Zach before he could throw the ball downfield. It's not like the receivers are not running routes downfield. He just can't pull the trigger. He's terrible.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that, but I don't know if that's because of the coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even like for example, when he's throwing bombs at the end of the game, like they could have won that game if it wasn't fucking Randall
Jack Wilson.
Cobb and they're slipping around. No, like oh well, you didn't see the game, so on the last game of the play, he's slipping with the ball coming, bouncing in his like
No,
towards
I
him.
did see that the Fail Mary. I did see that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, if you're gonna wait till the end of the game, like to do that, then just do it in the beginning, and then like
Throw a Hail Mary in the first
no, to
quarter?
just throw. He can throw the ball down the field. He can throw the ball down the field. That's what he's good at. He's good at escaping the pocket and making making plays with his feet. But you're
He's
not.
What do you mean? No, he's not.
Well, you saw again in the Dallas game when they started. They like he was taking what the like whatever holes with there, but it's like they don't want him to make a mistake. I don't know if it's like they told him like, oh, you got to be careful because we don't have anybody to come in after you. Like I don't know. I gotta see something. This game has to change. Like, cause if not, this is like it's just slop. It's the same shit that we've been watching for years. Where like for example, like even with the Joe Judge Giants, it's like, yo, everybody's playing football differently, and we gotta watch this garbage. Like you know what I'm saying. We gotta watch this garbage. Like figure it out. Figure out what you want to do. If you're not gonna let him throw the ball, then what is he playing for? What is he playing for? Like the defense is gonna get worn down. It's not that it's okay. It's a good defense, but it's not that good to where it's gonna hold the game. For example, let's say against the Chiefs, like the Chiefs are gonna score at least 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do the same shit. And what do you like? Oh, let's only lose 21-3. Let's get out the game only losing 21-3. Like that's what the game plan. Like if you use this same game plan that you did last week with this week, like because I could understand for against the Patriots, they're not gonna score that many points. Last year, you know, it was ugly games that they could have won. But like you can't do if you do this against the Chiefs, then fold it up. Like just tank for the rest of the season because this is like it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm just like I'm worried that all of this like shit, all this noise, because of course like this is what the media wants because after Aaron Rodgers goes down, there's not much to talk about, so they have to like stir it up. But like, you know, if like they're putting the pressure on, like, okay, Zach, you know, like, oh, Robert Saleh has to go. Like, yo, I can't take that because he's not the one at fault. He doesn't have a chance. He's not getting a chance to do what he wants to do because.
Where are you with Joe Douglas?
Oh, it doesn't look good in terms of like the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Like if I knew that the I need to know the objective. If the objective after the season is after Rodgers went down is like, listen, we're not gonna win anything. Let's try to keep the team together. You know,
but I feel like you know what the objective is. I feel like we all can see what they're doing. We just don't want to believe it. But they're telling us what the objective is. I mean, they told us what the plan was. They told us what the plan was if Rodgers goes down, which is the season is over. Like, that's what they told us with the way that they put the team together.
Yeah, and I mean,
And with the way
it's
that Salah is answering these questions, and I love Salah, but with the way that he is answering these questions about the quarterback position and about talking to, he can't stop talking about how great Zach is doing and about how improved he is and all this stuff. To me, you want to know what the objective is? You can read between the lines right there. You can see, what the kind of strategy is. I mean, I don't agree with this strategy, but I feel like we see what they're doing. We see that they're not, they're emphatic about not bringing in another quarterback to replace Zach. And we see what the results are, and they seem just happy to live with those results, or they're accepting of those results for the rest of this season. Like that's what they have told us with their moves or lack thereof and everything that they're doing. Like to me, like I looked at it like the Patriots game was gonna be, and we talked about this last week. Like this is gonna tell us what we can expect for the rest of the season, and what they're how they view the approach to the rest of the season moving forward, like what they're going to do in this game and what they do after the game. And I feel like now that we've seen it, like now I feel like I see what they're doing. I get it. I have no more questions.
They're tanking.
yeah, I'm
I don't know
almost
if
there.
it's tanking. I feel like tanking is like you're not trying to win. I feel like they still want to try to win, but they're not stupid. They understand how limited Zach is, and whatever results come from that, if it's a 1-16 season, then they're perfectly willing to accept that.
Which
They get Caleb Williams, and he sits 1 year under. 1 year under.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even know if that's the move. That's why I say I don't think they're tanking, because I don't even know that they would take Caleb Williams if they had the number 1 pick, which I don't anticipate that's the case, but
yeah, I mean, there's different ways of thinking. Like if that were the outcome, like if I was to fast forward to that and that's the outcome, I'm good with it, because it either means they're gonna trade for a legendary amount of picks or whatever, or they're gonna take them and do what they should be doing with every quarterback that they keep taking and letting them sit behind Aaron Rodgers, because like I don't think Jordan Love is that good, but he clearly has gotten he clearly benefited from being able to sit and seeing what the speed of the game is and seeing how quarterbacks are supposed to prepare for the NFL going into a game, because he went to Utah State. Like BYU is small, Utah State is even smaller. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the outcome, but the thing is, it's like the day-to-day, there's no way to just get to week 17 or week 18. You have to go every single week. And I'm just worried that the stuff that's going to happen week to week is not going to allow for that type of plan to go in New York. As shitty, as perfect as that plan would be theoretically, they're not going to let it happen. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
who's not gonna let it happen? The Jets?
No, just everything around. So because this is why they say like the Yankees can't, they can't rebuild. The Knicks can't rebuild. Like all of this shit is because it's like there's 10 people that have to write a column every day. A beat reporter has to write a column every day about, and it's like hitting you over the head constantly with stuff that it's like, the team is doing this, the team is not, you know what I'm saying? Like there's too much outside pressure in this market for a good plan once shit hits the fan to go down. Because if the Chiefs lose Patrick Mahomes, Blaine Gabbert is the backup. That their season is going to shit. If
Blaine Gabbert is 10 times better than Zach Wilson.
He can be 20 times better than than Zach
Right.
Wilson. But they're not winning the Super Bowl, which is what their objective is when you get to that level. When you build your team that way. You know what I'm saying? This team was built to win a Super Bowl. They said it was literally a topic almost every single day. Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl or bust. Like you couldn't. You know what I'm saying? As ridiculous as I thought that was,
Yes,
you
that's
already
what
know
I
the
don't
Super Bowl
understand.
is.
I remember you saying it wasn't Super Bowl or bust.
It wasn't with Aaron Rodgers. It's not a Super Bowl or bust.
Okay,
So if
but
it wasn't
is with
even
Zach Wilson.
no, you see that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't Super Bowl or bust for me with Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah.
that means that there was space for there not to be a Super Bowl and it still be a successful season. But that's thrown out of the window. There's no Super Bowl. There's no Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
There's only
we don't even know that there
there's
was
only
going to be a Super Bowl with Rodgers. We don't know
but
that.
that's what yeah, but you just made fun of me for that.
I didn't,
What I'm saying
how
is
did I make fun of you? When did I make
because
fun
you
of you?
said no, because you said like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? I said that it wasn't Super Bowl or bust. I said it wasn't Super Bowl or bust because that's ridiculous. Only one team wins the Super Bowl.
No,
but
I think it was Super Bowl or bust, but I'm still, but that doesn't mean that's a guarantee. I'm saying we don't know that they were going to win the Super Bowl even with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
But
of course.
in
But
terms
we
of, like,
know that. But we
expectation
know
and
that they're not going to
mission
win the
of
Super Bowl.
Season was a Super Bowl goal. That was kind of
Yeah,
the vision.
but the point is that you were in the sphere of 5 to 6 teams that could realistically see it happening.
Yes.
There's no seeing it happening now. That's not the ceiling.
Not with Zach Wilson, of course.
That's not the but not with anybody who's available. That's not the ceiling.
Yeah, I
that
understand.
ceiling doesn't exist. Your roof caved in. The roof caved in. That doesn't exist no more.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now you just have to. It's like you just have to. It's almost like.
I don't buy this whole you can't rebuild in New York nonsense. I don't buy that. I feel like that's a cheap excuse that people like to make, and that sports talk people like.
Well,
to
yeah,
say.
but that because it's not about the like actual results. What I'm saying is it's like the day-to-day is what puts pressure. So if, like, for example, somebody like Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas have been there for 3 years, like if it was year 1, year 2, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's easier to sell that off. But the thing is, it's like you're going from this expectation to where you went from that. It's like it's not real. It's not realistic. Like the expectation wasn't realistic. The Super Bowl or bust expectation wasn't realistic to begin with. But the main reason that that expectation was even a thought was Aaron Rodgers, and he's out for the season. So it's like it's like people don't want to modify that, and like acting like there's still a chance for that.
But who are people? Who doesn't want to modify that?
Well, you hear it on the radio, fans, the radio hosts, the newspapers. You know what I'm saying? It's like they still want to hold that up as if like, the locker room is gonna fall apart. It's like, yo, if the locker room was gonna fall apart, like you saw what happened.
Yeah, but the people who are concerned that the locker room could fall apart, what does that have to do with the expectations? I don't see that as having anything to do with whether it's Super Bowl or bust. Or I think that from what I've heard in terms of people who are concerned about how the locker room is going to respond moving forward, it's the same thing it was last year. It was the players on the team who know that Zach can't do the job and getting frustrated with seeing him trot out there and just be garbage every week.
Yeah, but there's one thing to be said where it's like, yeah,
And
you started off with garbage, and you're not doing anything about it. You know what I'm saying? And you have somebody who you have hope in, but you had somebody who represented Super Bowl expectations. The team saw that the team the players saw that the organization was serious about making a push and giving you a legitimate quarterback. The injury happened. It's not that they just went back to Zach. He had to go back in. Like,
Well, yeah,
you know what
but
I'm
he
saying?
had to go back in because Joe Douglas fucked up. There is somebody to blame for that. It's not. I mean, listen. Obviously you couldn't predict the Aaron Rodgers injury, and like when you lose your quarterback in that type of way, the same way that you're saying that if the Chiefs lose Patrick Mahomes, the expectations shift. Yeah, sure. But if the Chiefs lose, no team has a worse quarterback on their roster than Zach Wilson. Like that was a mistake, and a lot of people were saying it during the preseason, during free agency. That what are the Jets doing? What if something how could they? And at the time, I was kind of like, listen, I wasn't really worried too much about it because I felt like I feel like to a certain degree to what you're saying in terms of Rodgers was the plan. And if he gets hurt, it doesn't matter if it's Blaine Gabbert or Zach Wilson. The expectations are not the same. And I agree with that, which is why I wasn't going crazy in terms of, oh, they need to bring in a better backup quarterback. But at the same time, if you were going to have Zach as the backup quarterback, the one thing that you needed to not have happen happened. And now you got to live with the results of it. And, like, you know, if the team, if the coach and the GM and the team is not built in a way that they could withstand that injury, and the locker room wasn't going to fall apart, and the expectations and the media wasn't going to just weigh too heavily on them, if they weren't going to be able to take it, then you needed to get Zach the fuck out of here during the offseason. You could not leave the chance that you were going to trot him back out there if you weren't going to be able to keep the things together and have some type of a plan that was going to, you know, be.
Well, yeah, I'm just
Unless
to
that
finish,
was the plan.
to finish
What,
like
to
the
tank?
plan. Well, you had a player
wait,
that
hold on. I need to make sure I understand what you're saying. Unless that was the plan, like if we lose Rodgers, then we're going to tank.
Yeah, and they're like, kind of like what Flex said. It doesn't matter who else it is, because whoever it is not going to be good enough to compete against Mahomes, Herbert. Well, even though I shouldn't even say Herbert. You know, the top guys in the AFC, and they're like, you know what? If Son does happen to Rodgers, fuck it, we take the L.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the plan, then that was the plan. I feel you on that, but I just feel like then I don't want to hear complaining about the expectations and the media and all that. Like we knew what this was. Like if y'all came into the season with this as a possibility, this is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
but that's the thing is it's not them complaining. It's not like the coach is complaining about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody sees what happened. You know what I'm saying? It's like the thing is, it's like it's the pressure is coming from the original expectation. Like,
see, I don't believe
you
that.
know,
I disagree with that.
I mean, you could obviously you could disagree,
I think the
but it's
pressure is
like,
coming from the fact that they have a quarterback. They have a quarterback who can't play. If
well,
they
yeah,
had a
that's the thing is
backup,
they
like,
don't.
I think that everybody is smart enough that if they had a regular mid backup, if they had Mike White, for instance, if they had kept Mike White and moved on from Zach and paid Mike White whatever he needed to stay and be the backup, had they done that, and Rodgers would have went down, still would have been, you know, awful. Jets fans still would have been hurt about it, but they would have looked at it like, okay, let's see what Mike can do with a full season. Maybe they would have looked at it the same way that a lot of Jets fans were looking at it with Zach originally, who they wanted to believe all this, that Rodgers sprinkled the fairy dust on him, that all of a sudden he was going to be all right. And I include myself in that. I'm not trying to make fun of Jets fans. I too was hoping that the way that the team was built and the additions that they made and having a healthy Breece Hall and healthy AVT, I wanted to believe that Zach could be good enough to maybe just miss the playoffs or go on take them to the playoffs. I wanted to believe that the team was good enough for that and that Zach could possibly have been improved enough for that. And I think that people would have had the same view no matter who the backup was. People's expectations adjusted. People didn't stick with, like, obviously the the disappointment of the shifting of expectations remains and exists. But when Rodgers went down, nobody was still talking about Super Bowl or bust. A lot of people were saying the season's over. A lot of people were saying, well, let's see if, let's give Zach a chance. Let's support Zach. Let's see, maybe we can still make the playoffs. I, for one, was saying I think that they should still be able to make a playoff run. But after what we've seen the first few games, I think for the most part, people are kind of off of that, and the expectations just keep continuing to plummet. And I don't know who's to blame for that.
Well, I don't know. I'm just going by, like, there's plenty of people who said, oh, the Jets have a difficult schedule. They could be 2-5 at the bye. And if they're still 2-5, but was that like
pre
the same
or post Rodgers injury?
Pre. No,
Okay,
pre-Rodgers injury. Those people who said that they could be 2-5 heading into the bye, as the things warm, they get used to playing all of this stuff, and it's like, if they win another game, then they're on pace to go 2-5. So, like, they're doing the outrage thing
but come on.
now.
This 2-5 looks, I imagine, looks a lot different than the Rodgers 2-5 would have looked, even if he went 2-5. All 2-5s are not created equal. Even if they win another game, this 2-5, it looks scary with Wilson.
Yeah, but that's fine. But you know what? If Randall Cobb catches that, there's no outrage this week. It's limited outrage this week. If Randall Cobb catches that Hail Mary and they win the game.
Now, when you say outrage, because the outrage I'm seeing is we can't keep putting Zach Wilson out there.
Well, yeah, but if he can say, oh, but they won the game plan, they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, they would have been, been singing that same song you were singing last year about, oh, but he's undefeated, or he's won 5 games, or whatever you were trying to tell yourself at the time.
But I'm saying, but they changed the quarterback, and we saw what happened. So it's like it's not just the team. Like, like, it's not just the quarterback. There's other stuff that goes on. Like like, for example, the defense that I'm not blaming the defense by any means or whatever, but like, how come every time it's third down? How come every time, like, the other team needs a big play? They get it. That touchdown, that shit reminded me of
the Lions game
of the Lions game. And the deking and dunking thing, like, not apart from that play, the defense reminded me of the Jaguars game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what are you doing? You got to change. Like, whatever you're doing, they can see it.
The defense is just not good enough to carry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a good defense, but it's not like that. And to be fair, very hard in the modern NFL for any defense to be able to carry a completely unproductive offense. This isn't 2000 where we could have 2000 Ravens, 85 Bears. Like, that day is over. We're not doing that anymore. Like, you could take every one of the best defenders at their position in their prime and create an all Madden all-time team on defense. If the offense can't produce, that team is not going to be, even that team in the modern NFL is not going to carry you to a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Just they're not built that way. So I don't want to murder the Jets defense, but I do think that there were some people who believed coming into this season that this defense could be that kind of defense, dominant, and it's not that. It's a good defense, but
the thing is, it could be dominant if the offense scored points and made the other team air it out. Like, if the Patriots were down 14-0, they can't do that. They can't win with that game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'd be forced to throw it. They'd be forced to throw it downfield. They'd be forced to do different things on offense. But they went into the game saying, like, if we score 10, 14 points, we win this game. So they could be conservative. All they need is 2 scoring drives. And you could and I'm sure even if they were, like, they could go into the game thinking, Zach is probably going to give us one back. So, if we score one touchdown, we might be good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it was clear that was the Patriots' approach to the game. They were not like, and that's why, not to be messed up, but there were a lot of people who were jumping on that, but Zach, he had that one drive, whatever consecutive completions. The Patriots, that game went exactly how Bill Belichick wanted it to go. That was exactly what he wanted the game to look like. He wanted it. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he would have liked them to force a turnover, but in terms of just like total time of possession and field position game, like low scoring, that was exactly what he wanted.
And I mean, it was shitty weather. I'm sure that the Jets kind of went into it the same way, thinking like if we score 2 touchdowns, we could pull this game out. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, it just ended up in their favor. They played scared. I know that they played scared. Obviously, they have reason to, but also the weather didn't help at all. It made it work. It made their game plan even worse. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was the tactic that they were going to bring into the game, and it just fell the other way. Like I said, if Randall Cobb is 1 foot to the left and he to his left and he catches that, then everything is the conversation is different. I'm not saying it's like super positive or anything like that, but it's different. 2-1, 2-1 to 1-2 is a big ass difference. It's the same thing that it's going to be like, for example, but 2-2.
To that point, that's why last year when he was pulling those games off, I was saying from the very beginning, this is wrong. They need a better quarterback. This team deserves a better quarterback, better player quarterback. Just because he was pulling a couple of wins out of his ass against quarterbacks that were just as bad, if not worse, than he was at the time. That's why I've been saying this since last year. That was my entire point last year.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, it's like they're trying to buy time. The conversation
would have been going my way last year had he not pulled off those few wins at the beginning.
The thing is that what they're trying to do is buy time. So they're trying to eke out victories any way they can while trying to help him get better and develop. They have some, they have.
You believe that that's what they're doing currently?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, because they have no other, they have no other choice, basically. But it's like they're trying to eke out victories, so the conversation changes while hoping he gets better, and it's not gonna work when you lose like that. You know what I'm saying? So
if that's the truth, then that frightens me, because then, like, what are they watching? Well, I don't understand how there's so many people still watching Zach Wilson, thinking that he's gonna be it. What are they watching?
I don't know what to tell you, brother.
Like, I mean, I'm not trying to say I know more than offensive NFL staff. But how were they watching this and thinking that he's getting better or he's gonna get better?
I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing with all these other quarterbacks. Like, for example, like look at Justin Fields.
No, but but I know you say that, but it's not the same thing. This is a unique type of, like, he's a unique type of bad. It's not like.
Well, yeah,
I've seen terrible quarterbacks all over the NFL my whole life. Like, there's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Like, you bring up Justin Fields. Justin Fields he's still way better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but my point is,
and he's terrible.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the little things that Justin Fields shows that's tantalizing allows them to keep hope alive with that. The way that the Jets are trying to do it is with wins.
What does Zach show? Zach has not shown a fraction of what Justin Fields has shown.
I can't argue with that. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to look at it differently, because of course, we could do. Yeah, he's the worst quarterback. Like that, we're not advancing anything by just each one of us saying that it's the worst quarterback. I'm just trying to go through a mindset or like a train of thought that maybe that that would explain why they're doing this.
No, I feel
I mean,
what you're saying. I'm just saying.
you know
to
what I'm
me,
saying?
it's a
I
little
don't
bit
want.
troubling.
I'm tired. Like, I don't want to watch this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I have to. But and I have to try to understand why they're making me watch it. I don't want to watch this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to believe what Word Life was saying, but I feel like I would rather believe that than believe that I would rather believe that they're lying to us and that this is a tank job than to believe that they actually see something in Zach Wilson and they think that this is turning around.
But that's the thing, is they can't say that.
That scares me. No, of course they can't say that.
Yeah,
no, of course, but that's why I'm
that.
saying I would rather believe the other than to believe that they really believe what they're saying in terms of that Zach is so improved and that, like, come on, man, come on.
Mm-hmm.
The two things that stand out to me is Saleh clearly doesn't believe in Zach Wilson. That's to me is just his energy is like he's saying what he's supposed to say, but it's not like believable. It's not like it's like I'm supposed to say this, like so I don't get fined. Like I'm just here so I don't get fined. You know, like his body language says that, but the words is he's our quarterback, he's our best option to win, and so that's one thing that stands out to me. And it's like what? So who's the one calling the shots then?
See that's what I was just gonna ask you, because that concerns me, because if you're telling me that you can look at if you're telling me you can look at Saleh and you feel like he clearly doesn't believe in Zach, then
well the team doesn't believe in him. The teams are fighting him.
Yeah, but then like does he have no say? Like he can't, you know what I'm saying? He can't make a move. Like what is he doing then? Is he the coach or not?
I think he's the defensive-minded coach that knows everything about defense. And hey, let's bring a quarterback that's gonna coach the offense.
Well,
Nah, I don't know. I think you're not giving. I don't think you're giving him enough credit. That's like saying.
I'm not saying that. That's
like saying
but
that's like saying Dable doesn't have anything to do with the defense. He has something to do with the defense because he, you know, I'm sure that he's gonna, if he's a good coach or whatever, like he's gonna go in and he's gonna say like.
So then he does believe in Zach then.
No, that's not what I'm saying, because you're saying two things. You're saying it's like he wipes his hands of the offense. I don't think he wipes his hands of the offense, because he's been saying, you know, like, okay, this player has to play more. We got to get more touches for this player. We got to play this way. Like even with after week 2, where he was like, yeah, we got to run the ball. So he's putting in his input. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's putting in his input for the defense, but it's like everything that everybody wants. What? Because this is the thing. Like everybody, when they're going out for a head coach, everybody wants a CEO type where they let all the people do all the other things. But as soon as they start losing, they want them to call. Okay, his Saleh's defense stinks after first year. Then the number 4 defense. Yeah. Then it's not on Saleh anymore. Now they're giving the Now it's Jeff Albrecht's defense after it gets good. Like if the offense if the offense is bad, it's like, oh wow, Saleh's a terrible coach. He doesn't know anything about offense. But what they want, the whole point is to get people to do what their job is and delegate to tell everybody what the game plans should be, offer an opinion, and make sure you put the right people in place. Yeah. You can't do both. You can't be like, oh, we're gonna let all our staff do what to do, but at the same time, I'm gonna tell you what to do. So it's like it like everything is played on outcome. That's my point.
I agree. But how much? That's also kind of what I'm leading to is outcome. Like how much was it gonna be Rodgers' offense and Rodgers and Hackett's offense, and now Rodgers is gone, Hackett is there, and Saleh's like, hold on, I gotta get involved now, because it was clear at least to me, I thought it was gonna be like we're bringing in Aaron Rodgers to be the offensive fucking coach. Like
I mean, and that's part of the issue when you don't have Aaron Rodgers anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why, That's why this shit looks like a mess right now because the whole entire offseason was structured around him. He
But that's
was
my point. But that's my point. So now he's has to interject in the situation where he wasn't gonna interject as much, and now it's chaos. You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I can't blame that on him because everything would have been smooth sailing
Mhm.
had it not been for a season-ending injury this early into the season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's taking all the bullets and like being looked at as if he's a clown or is not any good. Where it's like nobody, what other coach would be able to, like function in what with what happened so close because we're talking 3 weeks, really 2 weeks because it happened on the week
Mhm.
on game day. So we're talking about 2 weeks where they've had to figure it out, and it's like, okay, he's not the offensive guy, so he has to like sit back and kind of like trust that they're doing the right thing. But it's like the thing that he's faltering on, like the offense, is that the team is faltering on the offense, and suddenly, okay, now the head coach doesn't know what he's doing. But when the defense was shitty,
Mhm.
Robert Saleh. Oh, I thought his thing was defense, and then the defense goes to ranked fourth, top five in the league, and
Mhm.
then it's like, oh, okay, the defense is fine now. Okay, now he doesn't get credit for that. Like he's just getting credit for the shitty situation he's been put in.
Well,
That's not his fault.
for me, I always give him credit for the defense. Me personally, but I guess it's then you gotta it goes higher up then, and it goes to Douglas, and it goes to who's really the one that is okay with Zach right now, with leaving Zach in there, and then worst case bringing Simeon in and saying what Simeon's gonna back up Zach now just in case Zach gets hurt, or is he here to challenge for the to,
If
According
there's
to
two more,
Salah, he's here to back up.
yeah,
yeah.
if there's another, but if there's another ugly showing where he looks like he looks incapable, that's not gonna last. I don't
Well,
care.
I
I
hope
don't.
not because
Yeah,
listen,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It's not gonna last. They're at least gonna have to put him back in at like halftime of the next game if it goes shitty
Mhm.
again. Like not this game, but the next one. They're gonna have to put him in at halftime, and if
put who in
you
Simeon?
know, yeah, they're gonna have to put him in at halftime, and then they're gonna have to at least show that he's gonna. Simeon's gonna have to play bad
For them to put back.
for them to go back to Zach
Or get hurt like Mike White
or
did
get
last
hurt.
year.
Yeah, exactly.
I just hope because I feel like Salah's playing a dangerous game because to go out there and explain away what the offense is looking like with some crazy explanation of how Zach is improving and all this other stuff, that's when people are like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Like, even if whether people are giving him credit for the defense or not giving him credit for the defense, the defense hasn't been good enough to offset the problems on offense. And if he's the head coach, even if the defense is great, the defense has to be extra great to offset the foolishness on offense. And it hasn't been. And the talk of the whole conversation around the team has been about the offense and has been about the quarterback. And he just sounds silly, not only explaining a way that you're trying to tell us what we're not seeing in terms of him making improvements, but also the fact that he's sticking by him. You know what I'm saying? So you got on one hand it's like he appears like he doesn't believe in Zach just based off of demeanor, but everything that all the actions say that's who they're going with, so he's got to believe in him to some degree, or otherwise what is he? Is he the coach? What is he? Because whether he's a defensive coach, offensive coach, doesn't matter. Anybody who's ever seen a football game can see where the biggest problem is with this team. And if he doesn't have the stature in the organization to make a change like that, then what is he?
Mm.
Like, either he's clueless and he really thinks that Zach is good and is sticking by him and believes in him, or he has no stones and he has no pull in the organization, and they're pulling the strings for him and forcing this quarterback situation on him. Either way, it's a bad look, and he's playing a dangerous game. Like, listen, if it was me, I'm gonna go down keeping it real, because, and I'm not saying that Salah's gonna get fired, but depending on how bad this gets, and depending on how long he wants to ride the Zach train that's going nowhere, would you be shocked to see him get fired and Hackett get elevated to head coach with Rodgers at the quarterback next season?
I can see him getting. I can't, like, if it depends how bad it gets.
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I can see him go before Doug.
This path.
Yeah, I just there's no way that elevates Hackett into.
Why I say that is not because it's going to be some opportunity for Hackett to elevate, but it seems as though they handed this franchise over to Aaron Rodgers, and a lot of people feel like what's going to keep Saleh from getting fired is the fact that if Aaron Rodgers decides that next year he wants Saleh to be his head coach, and he came here to be coached by Saleh, and he's on board with Saleh and Douglas, and he's good with them, then that's going to be the reason that they stay. But if all this foolishness has Saleh in such a bad place that the fans are calling for somebody's head at the end of the season, and
it'll be Saleh.
He's gonna be the one. It's that, like, it's not gonna be Joe Douglas that gets fired at the end of this year.
Yeah, I agree. If it's a pound of flesh, it's gonna be Saleh.
Yeah,
before
that's
Douglas,
what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying he's playing a dangerous game, because if the guy who they turn the franchise over to is Rodgers, and he's going to be the one having the most pull and the most influence on what's going on, and his mans is already in place, already in the building.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the way that they will look at it is, well, how any reasonable, like, owner or everything should look at it is like, we lost one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. We can't fall into this trap. Like, we had Super Bowl aspirations to begin the season. He went down. There's nothing different that if once you add that player back, then you should have the same expectations. So that's just the way I look at it.
No, I agree with you, but I mean, like, you're the one that always talks about the media, and you're the one that brought up the whole idea of not being able to build in New York and the fan base and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not just I'm not just spitting that out of nowhere. You know that's a thing. You know what I'm saying?
I know it's a thing. I think it's more of a thing for you than it needs to be, but I know it's a thing. But if we agree it's a thing, then don't be naive and act like, oh, well, a reasonable Woody Johnson. Like, no, either it's a thing or it's not a thing. Because if it's a thing, then it's a thing based on the idea that none of this shit is reasonable. Like, that's why it's so unreasonable. I'm acknowledging. I could acknowledge
I could acknowledge one thing, but hope for another. You know what I'm saying? It's like for the people that are calling for Boone, like, Aaron Boone to get fired. Like, if that gains traction, like, it all just depends on if he has the balls to stand up to it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't account.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
Show us that he does.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not up to me. Like, if it was up to me,
it's up to you. You were on the sidelines at the game.
Yeah.
The only person who was talked about being at a football game more than you at the Jets game was Taylor Swift. You were trending right underneath Travis Kelce. When I opened my Twitter, I saw Taylor Swift trending right under that. I saw Flex at the Jets game.
Flex at the Jets.
Well, the Lions are up 4. Just to.
Yeah, what's up? Are you taking them or?
All right.
I said I was taking them.
Okay. With
No,
that
you
being
said possibly.
With that being said, let's take a break, and we'll come back with the picks.
Rewind the tape.
Fresh champion, they tryna feel the ambience. Never seen nothing quite like the aliens. I'ma call the alliance, you call the ambulance. Before they even show up, your soul will start vanishing. Lost a lot through gambling with the odds, I'm addicted. You wanna take a look through my eyes, got you twisted. I'm sick and vicious, make a bloody Christmas. I love where I'm from, but I ain't riding through the trenches. A lot of stupid bitches like to make a lot of shit up. I hate to be the one to tell you, gang, you gotta give up. Writing on the wall like I ain't got no home training. Throw my name into your mouth, I'm spraying red, no paying. No waiting for my mans to show up, cause I'ma handle mine. Shit about to blow any second, like I stand on mine. Spin your body round 100 times before I let you breathe. Lock the door, shut the lights, I can't let you leave.
Hey, yo, Element, what's good, God? These fucking streets got a nigga going crazy, It's like a house of screams, done. Yeah. Hey, yo, I'm way much chiller than most. I ain't frontin' at all. I'm flirting with maintaining and broke. But who you know that's iller with words? Yeah, clearly disturbed. That really actually dealt with some coke. Elmhurst where they murdering folk. 15 years later and I'm still here serving you dope. Only now it's informing some mean bars is cream, but some are more chasing that green card is Queen's Guard. Better learn how to think fast. These bitch ass niggas that's off to some bitch ass. Assault them, throw salt in their wounds. It's deeper than watching loved ones cook boy in the spoon. This for young boys locked in a room. Group homes, no visits, turn vicious, feel alive in the tomb. Young guys watch most of them coons. Yeah, they lying, they zooms. The loot of life they ain't never consumed. For my niggas going to light it up. I provide a feeling one can only get while being cuffed on the Rikers bus. Whole killers say they side with us. We keep a bag of iron sticks like we play for the Riders Cup. Queens and Philly once again, what can fuck with us? Queens and Philly once again, what can fuck with us? I'm trying to tell them, done. I hear them screams, man. Ain't nobody gonna help you out of that one, son. You gotta find your own way, done. Yeah? Queen, Philly.
Fresh champion, they tryna feel the ambience. Never seen nothing quite like the aliens. I'ma call the alliance, you call the ambulance. Before they even show up, your soul will start vanishing. Lost a lot through gambling with the odds, I'm addicted. You wanna take a look through my eyes, got you twisted. I'm sick and vicious, make a bloody Christmas. I love where I'm from, but I ain't riding through the trenches. A lot of stupid bitches like to make a lot of shit up. I hate to be the one to tell you, gang, you gotta give up. Writing on the wall like I ain't got no home training. Throw my name into your mouth, I'm spraying red, no paying. No waiting for my mans to show up, cause I'ma handle mine. Shit about to blow any second, like I stand on mine. Spin your body round 100 times before I let you breathe. Lock the door, shut the lights, I can't let you leave. Fresh champion, they trying to...
Oh wait, I gotta set up the music too. I forgot about that. How can we make picks without the picks music? What the hell am I thinking? Good lord. This box and all this stuff got me all flustered. All right, so as we do every week, 3 picks against the spread, 1 1-point pick, 1 2-point pick, 1 3-point pick, and the 4th picker will be the box. The Bucs currently has the lead, currently has the best record by far.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucs is 6-2 on the season, and we are all tied at 4-5. Bucs has 12 points and is in the lead. I can't find this folder where I keep the music, so that's a problem. There it is.
Yeah, H's sarcasm is hilarious.
All right. Alrighty, here we go. Just buying time and stalling. Hopefully this doesn't come in pounding OD loud. Okay, that's good. All right, here we go. Picking against the spread. If you
The
or someone
magic
you know has a gambling problem, solve it. All right, here we go. No,
Figure
there's
that shit
a
out.
hotline. Google exists. I don't feel like looking up the number right now. All right, here we go. Hopefully the box keeps the streak alive. Shuffle it up a little bit. First pick for the box. The box is going against the Giants Monday night. 1 point pick, taking the Seahawks +1.
I love it. I like that pick.
It's a good pick.
Gino revenge game.
Gino revenge game. How about
Again.
that? Isn't that?
Did it last
I was
week.
gonna say. I was gonna say Pete Carroll revenge game, but he was with the Jets, right? All right, 2 point pick for the box. Ooh. Box is taking the Steelers.
I thought that was the Dominican
On
flag.
the
real quick.
road. On the road. The box is taking the Pittsburgh Dominicans on the road against the Houston Texans.
-2.5.
Yes, sir. And for 3 points, the
Uh-oh.
box is going to go with
Bengals.
the New Orleans
The
Saints.
Saints.
The New Orleans Saints, who are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and giving 3.5 points.
Man, we'll see.
Nah.
Unimpressed?
We'll see.
All right, let's put these back in
That
the
was a
box.
3-pointer?
That was
Yeah.
3.
From deep.
And now I will
Hey.
make my picks. So, 1 point pick. Where's my team here? All right, 1 point pick. I'm going to do it. After all that talk we had, after all the conversation, I'm taking the Jets. Taking the Jets.
I like it.
1 point pick. I'm going to take the Jets at home. I'm going to take the points, big chunk of points. I mean, listen, it could be ugly, and it could be well more than 9. That's obviously a possibility, but given the slate that we're dealing with this week, and given the numbers, I mean, there's not a lot of lines that I find to be particularly appealing. So as unappealing as I find Zach Wilson's form of play, and I maintain I will not watch this game. 100%. I will not be watching. I will just be hoping from afar that somehow that number can get covered. Hopefully the defense can shut down a little bit. Maybe Mecole Hardman, maybe he has an appearance, or at minimum maybe he can lend some advice in the film room, and I'm hoping that they can cover that number. So that's going to be my 1 point pick, taking the New York Jets, taking the points at home, Sunday Night Football that I won't be watching. 2 point pick. Go ahead.
Said yes, you will.
Oh, you say yes, I will. Okay.
You're not gonna do it now just because you're gonna make a point not to do it. But yeah,
I'm going to come to your crib and watch it.
wow.
And I'm going to wear
Perfect.
my Joe Namath jersey, and I'm going to just talk shit about Zach Wilson the whole game, just like my guy Broadway Joe.
Crazy.
So 2 point pick. I'm going to agree with the box. I'm going to take the Steelers as well.
Wow.
I'm going to take the Steelers. I'm going to give those points. Steelers still haven't looked too great. And the Texans have looked surprisingly good. And I know that this is not a sharp pick. I've seen that a lot of the pros are really into this game. They like the Texans at home getting the points, but I don't know, man. Less than a field goal. This Steelers team is not great. Good defensively, not great offensively, but I believe in Mike Tomlin. I think that they will finish with a winning record this season. And if they're gonna finish with a winning record, these are the types of games that they gotta find a way to win the game. And I think that they should win the game, and they should be able to pull it out by a field goal. That's what I'm going with. So that's my 2-point pick, and that is the thought process behind it. And then my 3-point pick. I was tempted, very, very tempted, to take my guy, Johnny G. But I'm not going to take Johnny G. To tell you the truth, actually, I'm lying. I wasn't tempted to take Johnny G. If that number would have gotten down to 13.5, I would have taken the 49ers and given the 13.5 at home, coming off of a long rest, having played on Thursday night. And, you know, with the Cardinals coming off of a big win, I feel like that could have been a letdown spot for them. But instead, I'm going to take the other team that played on Thursday night. I'm taking the Giants.
We're going right against the box.
Monday night, I'm going against the box. I am. I'm afraid of
this is going to be a recurring theme. I got some agreements and disagreements with the box as well.
So I'm going against the box. Box lost his 3-point pick last week, so I'm going to kind of roll with that in terms of how I view my picking against the box. I can't say that I'm super confident, to be honest with you, but I just feel like Brian Daboll didn't just forget how to coach. He didn't just become a terrible coach. I still feel like there's questions to be answered in terms of what kind of coach he is, but what we saw last year was real. What he did with that Giants team, with a mediocre at best roster, and the way that they grinded out those wins, and the way that they kept most of the games close, I believe that Brian Daboll's a good coach, and I believe that having that extra bit of time, Seattle coming off of a nice big win, I think that this could be a letdown spot for them. I'm not, obviously I'm not going to go too crazy about a West Coast team traveling east, but Seattle did have a tough game last week. I mean, they got a run for their money from a backup quarterback. So I still believe that this Giants team is not going to have a terrible, terrible season. And I just feel like this is a spot where they should be able to pick up the win. They're at home and getting a point. I mean, sign me up. I'll take that. I'm going to believe in Daboll, and I'm going to believe in the extra time to prepare. And Seahawks were missing a lot of their defensive starters last week. I don't know if they will have all of them back this week. But even if they do have them back, I still feel like it's early enough in the season that having guys in and out of the lineup can shake you up a little bit too. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with the Giants. I'm going to make that my 3-point pick, and I'm going to take the points at home Monday night in a game that I will watch.
Two New York teams, huh? Wow.
2 New York teams, baby.
Let's do it. Let's go.
New Yorker with my
Arizona. Yeah, because they only because they beat the Dallas. So yeah, you're a New Yorker.
They did beat Dallas. That was
that was a revenge.
Yes.
All right, man. Here we go, boy. All right. So I'm actually prepared this time. I actually had my picks.
How nice of you.
Well, that's not good. Well,
and the only
entertainment factor then.
And the only reason I did that was so I can scour the internet for clips of the teams I'm gonna pick.
Fantastic.
All right. So that's how much I care about the things you say.
Okay.
Right. So my my 1-point pick. It's tough for me to pick this team, but I'm gonna go right against the box, and I'm gonna go the Buccaneers, boy.
Oh, wow.
Plus 3.5 against the Saints, the Aints.
Wow.
With Kamara back. My son said two things to me in the beginning of the season that stuck to me. He said, the first thing he said was, yo, why is it that I feel like Darren Waller is going to play around? Like, he can't play around if the Giants is going to be successful. And I was like, yo, you're right, man. I feel like he's the type of dude that's going to play around. The second thing he said is, Baker, comeback player? I said, Maybe. And hey,
Oh, that's decisive.
and I'm like, nah, but he just said it. He said, it looks like he could have a good year. So I'm gonna go with Baker, man. I know Evans has those drops but he comes up, he does those spectacular catches, and he's a big threat. Baker
Well,
seems
just so you know, he has a history with the Saints secondary. He might not even finish the game if they get into a fist fight the way that they seem to always.
I hope
So just keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Well, I hope not. And the Tampa Bay, the Bucks defense is playing well. So give me them as my 1 point pick. They're only my 1 point because they were gonna be my number 2, but because I never do this. I don't think I've ever done this. You can check the records. Maybe you can check last year. I'm going with my 2 point pick. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns at
Now
home.
you say you never do this in terms of you never pick the Browns.
Yeah. I don't think I picked. I feel like I haven't picked them last year. At least I don't remember picking them. So I'm going with them as my 2 point pick against Baltimore. 3, right? They're giving 3 to Baltimore.
Yeah, 3.5.
Cleveland, bro, that defense is real.
Oh no, 3. It's
real.
at 3. It's at 3. But
Yeah, 3.
for what we do.
Oh yeah, that's right. That Cleveland defense is real, bro. It's kind of like what and I'm riding that Baltimore train, and I don't want to, but Baltimore's beat up.
You did not pick the Browns last year, by
Yeah, damn, that was quick. But yeah, so Cleveland defense is real. Baltimore's it's just picking the team that's declining and the team that's on the come up. So yeah, I think Cleveland's defense is really that good, and they're good against the run. And Baltimore seems like they can't throw the ball. So give me Cleveland for my 2 point pick.
Can't throw the Baltimore.
Mm.
the way. Yo, Flex always.
Yeah,
has
he's
so
amazing.
He's
He's amazing at this
so
point.
many bars.
Fact. All right, my 3 point pick. I'm gonna take this right out of my man H's box. Pause.
Hey.
Hey, yo, I meant the box with the picks. Now,
Not the one with the dicks.
punches. Yo, this guy's J.R. Ryder over here.
Punches.
Yo, I'm going with the fucking L.A. Rams, boy.
Oh, I like it.
Wow.
Giving away one away at Indianapolis. I picked Indianapolis last week against Baltimore, and I'm picking LA Rams to score more than the points are given. So give me LA Rams. I think I'm not sure what they're doing with the quarterback. I don't think Minshew's playing. I think Richardson's playing. He's dinking dunk.
But
The
he
Rams
got them legs though, man.
yeah, he does, but I don't know. I got to see more. My man's telling me he's baby Lamar, and I don't know. I got to see more. I trust
Lamar's baby Richardson, just in terms of
Yeah,
like
word.
size.
size word. There's nothing. I don't know. Stafford. He's a proven commodity. He got weapons. They're hot right now, man. Give me them over the coast, man.
I like it.
All right, so we're a little bit redundant in some of
I
these
don't love
picks.
it, but I like it.
That's cool.
I like the Cleveland Browns pick, but I'm not gonna go with that one. I just think Lamar's not looking that sharp so far, man. I don't know if the offense was supposed to be better. I don't see it. The defense is shaky, but I'm gonna stick with my 1 point pick. I'm gonna go against the box because I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Nice.
for 1
Nice.
point. Getting 3.5. These games are always close. I know it's a Jameis Winston revenge game, most likely. But that's a secondary. I mean, I just think he's going to toss it up. Maybe he's going to want to show out a little bit on his old team. Like I said, these NFC North, NFC South games, a lot of them are 3-point games. Getting that extra 3.5, like getting that extra half point, kind of seals the deal in the Bucks' favor. I think the Bucks defense is good enough to where they can, they can force a turnover. And even though, I know it's a good defense on the Saints side, I think the way Baker Mayfield is playing, I think he comes, he comes back a little bit from that Eagles performance, and even that Eagles game, it didn't really, it wasn't, the score is a little bit funky. It didn't seem like it was that. It didn't seem like it was that much of a blowout while I was watching the game. It just ended up that way. But I think Baker Mayfield will show up, and I think he keeps it close to the end at least. For my 2-point pick, I picked the Lions. I just don't trust Jordan Love. He's gotten lucky a lot. Like even on that comeback that he had on Sunday, it didn't look great. It didn't look great. It was kind of like, it was a little fugazi. I mean, it only came after Derek Carr went out with the sprained AC joint, and I don't know. I'm not buying it. I need to see more from Jordan Love. I can't say that. I can't say, like, there's a lot of people saying that, that they got their quarterback again, but I got to see a little bit more. And this is another defense that kind of, they built it up a little bit. The offensive line for the Packers is shaky. Bakhtiari went on IR. I know he hasn't been there a couple of days, but this defensive line for the Lions is really good. Their secondary is but I think they get the job done against Jordan Love. And plus what they did to him last year, I'm sure, they're still hot about that. So, they're still gonna, I think they still want to take it to the Packers. For my 3-point pick, I got to go with the Steelers again, man.
Ooh.
Yeah. That 2.5. I know CJ Stroud's looking decent. But the discrepancy between this Steelers defensive line versus the Houston Texans backups, I think they're all backups at this point. There might be one starter, maybe. And I don't know if he got injured last week.
I think I think what happened was this guy he injured himself putting on the gas mask to smoke. I heard.
Oh yeah, broken
What's
nose.
his name? Tullyson?
I was
Tunsil?
trying to remember his name.
Tunsil.
The joke would have been
Tunsil.
a lot better had I remembered his name.
Yeah. No,
know
but we
what I'm
understood
talking
it.
about.
We all knew it.
Yeah,
great.
but yeah, I mean, when you lose some of the best linemen, I mean, I know they've been airing the ball out, but with Minkah Fitzpatrick and Patrick Peterson, as old as he is, he's still a ball hawk. I think he has 2 interceptions already. So I just think that the defense is going to be able to trick CJ Stroud into doing something he doesn't really want to do. It's a young team. I like this team. If it was 3.5. If it was 3.5, I might go the other way with the Texans. And this team is hungry. I don't know. I just think TJ Watt is a game wrecker, and it doesn't matter where you're going to put him because you don't have the Texans don't have a lineman that's going to be able to put up any sort of defense against it. Because if Tunsil is in, or I forget the right tackle's name. I think it's Austin something. But if Tunsil is in, they have a shot. But they have no shot without Tunsil. So give me the Steelers. Giving 2.5 as my 3-point play.
Mm-hmm. Like it.
There's There's going to be a lot of movement.
Word life.
With it.
I'm
Yeah.
disappointed.
Why is that?
I left the Titans for you to take
Yeah.
as a home dog. Now, did you not take them because they're going up against your boy Joe Burrow? Is that what it is?
You know what's funny? So I have 3 games that I wanted to pick on top of this. Remember I did it last year too? In case and when you said you were gonna go first, I was like, fuck, he's definitely gonna pick Cleveland, and there's a high probability he's gonna pick the fucking Rams. When you didn't pick neither one of them, I stick with my 3. But yeah, the Tennessee Titans was one.
I really thought long and hard about Cleveland. I did. Had they lost last week, or had the Ravens won last week, I think that might have been enough to swing me.
Gotcha.
But I like that kind of, those tend to be kind of tiebreakers for me. Like if a team coming off of a win or coming off of a loss, the Watson has just looked so shaky, and without Chubb, I'm afraid of what kind of foolishness he's like. Everything you said about that defense, and that was why I was like leaning towards taking them because of the problems with the Ravens. But I'm like, yo, man, who knows if Deshaun Watson just gives the game to these dudes?
Yeah, he just says fuck it.
Cheeks, have you seen how how Deshaun Watson throws the ball now?
I haven't seen like compared to what before, but. I mean, I've seen him suck. I've seen him suck.
He throws the ball with his palm.
Bro, did you see the backwards pass? What the fuck was that?
Carson Palmer?
He just threw the ball backwards. You saw that?
Nah, I missed that.
Yo, he literally, the defense turned him around like the opposite way, and he just threw it that way. Shit was crazy. Yes, Robot, DJ Robot. But anyway, the Titans were going to be one of my. The Jacksonville was gonna be another one, and then I wanted to fuck with the Bills so bad, but
I wanted Jacksonville too. I like what you're thinking with the Bills. There's just not enough points for me.
Yeah, 2.5.
But
look at Robot, DJ Robot, huh?
Yeah, I have a construction worker of those upstairs.
I thought about taking the Bills and giving the 2.5. It's a really good spot, but that Dolphins team is a little scary.
That shit is so fire. I need one.
What, a Dolphin?
Yo, you see a Robot. Yo, you remember My Pal? Remember My Pal or no? Who remembers My Pal?
I think I do.
It was a robot that they sold. It was called My Pal. Yo, I wanted that shit so fucking bad, bro. Because he had a basketball rim on his chest that you could bring down, and if you make the shot, it'll say good things like, "Whoa, you're really good." I was like, "Yo, that nigga would think I'm really good." And I fucking wanted it so bad, but it reminds me of that your new pal there. What's that cartoon that says you're the one with your hand up my ass or whatever? And he said it like 4 or 5 times.
What is that from? I don't know.
Was it Family Guy?
Was it?
He
I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
He kept referencing it. Like he kept saying the joke. He was like, "Well, you're the one with your hand up my ass," or whatever. That shit was funny.
Yeah, the Lions are gonna blow out the.
Oh my God, it's looking bad, huh? Yo, tell me how I put Montgomery in my lineup fantasy, and I was like, let me just do it for now. I'll check before the game, and I'll get him out of there in case he's inactive. And I didn't check it. And when I went, it was too late. He was already active. But he got 1 touchdown so far. But hopefully he'll get more. They should have scored right there. What the fuck happened?
What do you mean? Oh, taking it back?
They turned it. They turned the burn. Right? What they went for a field goal. Oh my God! Another pick.
Wow,
I'm behind. That's why.
No Titans for you.
No. Let me tell you a little something about Robert Saleh. Yeah.
Oh, that's fire!
He couldn't coach his way out of a construction site.
His man has the hand sticks on. Damn.
Nah, he's making his head move
he
like
stinks.
this. That's crazy.
He stinks, yeah.
He's making his head move like that.
And I don't know where he come from, but wherever he came from, I want him to go back over there.
There you go.
Where's your other guy?
Now you're talking.
I don't have one.
Now you're talking. Go back where you
came
from.
That's not me talking. That's not me talking.
I know. You're pro Saleh. This guy's a fucking clown. This fucking construction worker. What's wrong with you?
Get him out of here.
Did you
And if
see
he doesn't
when,
if he doesn't like us ripping him, tell him to get back to where he came from. Get him out of here.
Did you see when Pat McAfee shouted out Fireman Ed?
No, I didn't see
I
that.
heard about it, but I didn't see it.
I mean, he just shot him out, but he talked about him. He said that he saw his Instagram video.
Come on, Montgomery. I need another
Now,
one.
Fireman Ed, that's a guy who knows what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. 2 touchdowns. Let's go.
All right, enough. The puppet show. Puppet show is where we end it.
You got me biting my hands over here. If I see him throw another stinker.
Yo, that voice is perfect.
That's fire.
So there you have it. The picks for
Maybe
the
we should
week.
do the puppet pick show. That
That
could be
would
our
be
That would be
gimmick.
like, didn't they do the basically that fantasy show before they fired Matt Berry? That was a puppet show, pretty much, right?
But were they doing picks or were they just talking?
Fantasy player picks, but
Oh yeah. They don't have a racist construction worker though.
yeah, see, that's what you need.
That's the major key.
Or that's the puppet pick show starter kit. You have racist construction workers at the top of the list.
You're the one with your hand up, my ass.
Speaking of hands up people's asses, why does my guy Broadway Joe have his hand up Zach Wilson's ass?
That's so
He needs-
foul.
Why do
He
you go
needs
so
to
hard
chill.
on him?
Yo, but it wasn't just Wilson though. He was getting at Douglas.
Oh yeah, no.
I think he's.
Woody.
I get it. He's like butthurt about something, man.
Nah, he's keeping it funky, bro. He's keeping
Nah,
it real, bro.
nah.
He's keeping it real, bro.
Yeah, he's keeping it real, but he has something. You don't go out like that because he's like at the end.
Oh yeah,
like,
he's done it
what's-
before. Yeah.
Like with Sam Darnold, like he always like.
He's always
kept it-
positive, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he hasn't gone like this, and I feel like he must have been like, there was something that happened. There must have been something that happened, or like they didn't.
He
you know,
sobered
like,
up.
No. Because even recently, he's been positive. But what I'm saying is like, I feel like there was something like maybe they didn't include him in all of this.
Yeah, he's got an axe to
in all
grind about
in
something.
all of this hoopla. Maybe he didn't feel like, like even when like Aaron Rodgers said like, oh, like the Lombardi is lonely and stuff like that. Like I think maybe he feels like he should have been brought in, like even like with the Hard Knocks shit. Like maybe he feels like he should have been like around more and like been a little bit of a highlight thing. I don't know. Maybe he's feeling a little,
Maybe.
like.
All right,
you know
well,
what I'm
it's
saying?
time, hold on,
Yeah.
let me just say goodbye to the people. It's time for me to take my drugs, so good night.
Peace.